Well, thank you. Good morning to everyone and welcome to County Hall. For way of introduction, my name is Councillor Alan Cullens and I'm the Chairman of Lancashire County Council. And the Chairman's role is one that lasts 1 year. Now, unfortunately, our previous Chairman passed away not long ago, so I've actually taken the role on now until next May. So, they're really about being Chairman. Being Chairman is quite interesting in the way, because one of the roles that I have is to represent Lancashire when we go to events. So I go to events like it could be the opening of a school, it could be the opening of a new library, and I get to meet many people from different backgrounds and different faiths, different communities, and it's all part of what makes Lancashire. And special occasions, and this is one, and I think very much around, we're very much looking forward to today, very much looking forward to hearing what you've got to say, because quite crucially, you are the future. You are the future of what decisions will be made in this place. Because as councillors, we get elected by your parents during elections. And you will have that decision to make sometime to elect somebody to represent you and your views. For the second part, I also have chairing the meetings of the County Council. And we hold 6 meetings a year in this room. And to be perfectly honest with you, you are probably going to be better behaved today than a lot of our councillors. One superb power, and that's I actually sit on this chair here, this tall chair. Alongside on all of are the cabinet members, and they're the ones who actually have to make the tough decisions, whether that be on the environment, on education, about looking after elderly people. And the council meetings can get lively at times. But as I say, I do have one, and that's if people won't stop speaking when the time's up, I stand up. And at that point, they have to be quiet, as if I could live in hope. So really today is about you, your ideas, and the debates. And to be quite honest, I could work for the council for it. Hopefully, I'll be able to meet some of you at lunchtime and tell you a little bit more about the council, about this chamber. I think the other thing is about our council meeting, and could I say a word to the guests? Council meetings don't use cast on webcam. Watch it. I've got a feeling it's not the most watched telly programme, but the debates are interesting. And this is where we two sides to the on the side are people who are actually in power at the moment, and on the other side, the opposition. So again, debates do get lively, and we're looking forward to some lively discussion today. But the other thing as well, as I get to do, is I never thought I would play Ollie Willoughby. And it seems my role today, ladies and gentlemen, I have to introduce the judges. I could introduce you to County Councillor Philippa Williamson, who is the leader of the County Council. So she's really our boss. And she's boss of the cabinet members who sit along here. Philippa was voted in as leader in 2021 and studied English literature and accountancy at university. She has a great interest in children, young people and schools. Also, if I could introduce Eloise McAndrew. Eloise is our Director of Law and Governance. She's the legal eagle. She's the one who keeps us in check to make sure we're following the rules. And that was ensuring we do things properly here in Lancashire. And lastly, amongst our judges, could I introduce David Cam? David doesn't work for the County Council, but used to have a really good job, and this is one that could quite interest you. He used to work at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So it's definitely worth having a chat with him, but now retired. He's now the Under-Sheriff of Lancashire, a grand title, I think you would say. It's a job that's been around for hundreds of years, and he provides a lot of help and support to the High Sheriffs of Lancashire, Manchester and Liverpool, who all represent the King in matters relating to the judiciary and maintenance of law and order. So, to move on, that's enough from me. We want to hear from you. So I'm now going to invite each school to come up to the dais to present their debate, after which the judging panel will ask you a few questions. Please don't be scared. Take your time, take a deep breath and a drink of water. And should you lose thread and can't remember what you're going to say, there's nothing wrong with silence for a moment. Just take your time. We know, I can promise you in here, there are a lot of people who are a lot more elderly and senior to you who have lost their lines, I can promise you, and fluffed. So don't worry, there's others gone before you've done it. So once you've all presented your debates, again, we'll have some lunch and then come back in here to get the results. So without further ado, I'm delighted to welcome to the floor Barden Primary School from Burnley.
My name is Umar.
My name is Lindsay.
My name is Amelia.
And we are Barden Primary School.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we want to address accessing issues that affect the health, well-being and safety of children just like us. This is something we feel really strongly about at Barden Primary School, and this is not just a problem here in Burnley, but it's a problem across England and Lancashire too. Something needs to change. Today we want to talk to you about children's access to vaping products. The rise of vaping among young people is a growing concern, and it demands our attention and joint efforts to find effective solutions. In the past 2 years, within the walls of our very own primary school, our pupils and teachers have had to deal with 4 vaping-related incidents alone. First, let's understand the problem. Earlier this year, we invited our local council leader to discuss our concerns. Our discussion with Councillor Anwar, along with discussion with the school council, have highlighted that the availability and appeal of vaping products have led to an alarming increase in their use among young people. It is essential to understand the factors contributing to this issue and discuss our concerns together. Only then we can make a change that we deserve.
The key to solving this problem is the need for strict regulations of vaping products. Just a few weeks ago, the government has announced that it wants to ban disposal of vapes in order to protect children. Yes, these products should not be accessible to minors. Yes, there should be age restriction in the place of purchasing for vapes. And yes, there should be stricter penalties for those who sell or provide vapes to underage children. But is this really enough? Will this alone stop a problem which is reported to be affecting 21% of children in England?
In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change this world. We believe in that delivering school-based programs can be particularly effective in preventing children from accessing vapes. Schools should include an anti-vaping education into their curriculum. These programs should not only focus on health risks, but also on building resilience, decision-making skills, and strategies for resisting peer pressure. In our school, we already learned about the impact that drugs and alcohol can have upon our health. We think vaping should be included within this.
Education isn't the only essential tool in tackling this issue. We must launch public awareness campaigns that highlight the risks that vaping places upon children. Many children and parents are aware of the harm vaping can cause to their health, including addiction and the risk of inhaling harmful chemicals. Council leaders, schools, parents and communities should all work together to educate young people about the dangers of vaping. Billboards, leaflets, radio and TV adverts can all help to spread this important message.
I have a question I would like to ask you. If you were buying a toy for a child as a present, what would you want it to look like? What would they be attracted to? Let me guess. bright colours, vibrant packaging, and a cool name. This exact description could be used to describe many vaping products. So many are designed to look sleek and appealing, often resembling everyday objects like pens or USB drives, making them more appealing for young people. We think that there should be stricter regulations on the design and advertisement on vaping products so that we reduce the attractiveness to children.
In conclusion, we believe that this is definitely a huge issue affecting children in our school, Lancashire and the whole of the UK. Addressing the issue of children accessing vapes requires a team approach which involves government regulation, education and raise public awareness. We must work together to protect our health, children's health and create a future free from the harmful consequences of vaping. Please help us take these steps today so we can secure a healthier and safer tomorrow for children in Lancashire and beyond. Thank you.
Okay, so well done for opening the show in such a strong way. Brilliant, really, really great. So we have, as a panel, some questions for you, but I'd like to start off, if that's all right. One of you mentioned peer pressure and resisting peer pressure, I'd like sort of just a few more ideas, really, on how you would try and make vaping uncool.
How it can affect your lungs and your body and how they can make your lungs go dark and how they can affect you.
Very good, thank you. And how do you think we can really stop people buying vapes? Have you got any ideas?
Well, in my opinion, you see how a few years ago cigarette packets used to be just on like shelves, but now here now they are just behind the wall, and the good thing about them that they are in darker packaging. But with vapes, they are still on shelves, they are not behind walls, and they are in colourful packaging, and they are in colourful packaging. So as a team we think that they should be darker and put behind a wall, so then people can't really see them much.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to Eloise.
Thank you for the lovely speeches. I found it really inspiring. Could you tell me, why do you think people start vaping in the first place, and how could we prevent them?
Because they think it's really cool and they're colourful, and they see it on the shelves and they don't even know what it really is, and they think, oh, it's colourful, and children think it's colourful too, and children just pick up what they want because they think it's colourful, and they use it and it's not good for their health.
And also you see how they are colourful, but they also have like different flavours of it, like there's blueberry, strawberry, and that's why they're starting to like take it, and sometimes people are pressuring them into taking one. Carrying on from Zoya, people also use it a lot because they think it'll make them look sleek and cool to their friends, and older people give it to younger children so they would use it, but it's really not good for your health.
Okay, do you want to ask some questions?
I wonder how many children smoke cigarettes these days, and how are they persuaded not to? I think probably the majority do not smoke. What's persuaded them not to smoke and take up vaping?
Well, if they, you can like get some help. Like if you keep on like vaping or smoking, you can seek for help, and you can, and then if you go deep down into smoking and vaping, you can end up figuring out what it can, what can happen to you and what it can do to you. And sometimes when you walk around, you can see teenagers giving children vape, and when it's not good for them, and you don't know what can happen, and they're just taking it since it's colourful, and they don't know what's going to happen. They're just taking it since it's colourful. Like they play with toys, they're colourful, they're not just dark. If they were dark, it wouldn't really attract them or anything.
Yes, when I was young, the legal limit for buying cigarettes was 16. Is there a legal limit for buying vapes? An age limit?
Well, I think it's 18 plus or 18.
So does part of the responsibility lie with the people who sell vapes, and should we be looking to them to help with your initiative?
I feel like this should be like doing the same as they do with cigarettes or making them dark packaging and not like just putting them there in the shops, because they're like in local shops and people are using them everywhere, like in parks. So I think they should like hide them behind the walls and ask if they're suitable for it.
Thank you very much.
And then most of the time you can like ask them for like you know how they still do it, they ask for ID, but sometimes in other shops like convenience stores, yeah, you know how sometimes they can sell vapes, sometimes they just give them the vape without asking for ID or anything. So I feel like sometimes they have to take it more serious.
And the people who sell vapes should be taken to jail because it's against the law and it's bad for your health if you sell it for children.
Have any of you ever told someone that to their face? Any of you?
No.
Do you think it's a good idea that you should?
Yeah,
Or are they always bigger than you?
Well, I was at the park once, Thursby Park, and I was just playing along with my friend, and then I just saw these group of people. I didn't really think much of it until there was this teenage girl who had a vape, and then she was pressuring her little brother to take it, and he looked like he was only 7, 8 or 9 years old, and she was pressuring him, yeah, so then she can act cool in front of her other friends. And also, I wish I was there to stop them, but I didn't have like the courage to, because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of you. So you can now take a big breath and sit down and enjoy the remainder of the presentation. So thanks very much, and round of applause everyone. Okay, and so the overall winner of the Great Lancashire Debate is Barden Primary School.
I might need you in the centre.